What's going on, everyone? It is Ian here again with All Trucks Garage. In this video, I'm going to go over with you how I modified my oil pan on my 351 modified. I went from a mid-sump oil pan to a rear sump. I couldn't find an oil pan that was like a factory pan. The only ones I could find were in Summit catalogs for like $350, or excuse me, $250 to $300, and I wasn't spending that on an oil pan. So I took the 3 hours, I think it was, to modify mine and to make a new pickup tube for the oil pump. So like, subscribe, and stay with us. We're going to get to it and show you how we did it. Well, get this oil pan cut since I can't get one. I just drew some lines out. I'm going to cut this sump off, and then this I just kind of sketched out. I'm going to have to cut this off. I'll mark this out better once I get the sump off, get it set back here, and figure out where I want to cut everything else. So get this cut up and get it ready to go in. So, get this marked out, get the rest of it cut, and get it put back together. So I got it cut. I'm pretty happy with the way it's sitting now. You can see that it gave me at least 3 inches, which I'm hoping that'll be enough. I'm going to cut the front of this oil pan or notch it and bend it down. It'll make this go straight down, give me a little more room, and then I'll make my piece come back. But make this go straight down, give me as much room as possible, and hopefully that'll fit without having to cut the firewall in the truck. So I got it tacked on here. I put a little weld on so it wouldn't break my tacks while I'm pounding on it. I cut some reliefs in here. That way it would flatten out. You can see I got quite a bit bigger gap now, probably 4.5 to 5 inches. Actually, let's measure it. So yeah, I got about 4.5 inches in there. So cut those reliefs in so it would bend easier. Get this straight up and down. Give me as much room as possible. So I got another oil pan that I'm going to use. Cut it up and fill in this gap. So get this old pan cut out. Use the piece. Got it all welded in here. I'm going to get these welds ground down. Then I'm going to weld the inside of it. I'll probably do that before I grind it. I'm going to weld the inside of it. I'm just going to touch the welds on the inside, get any loose debris, slag, or spatter off, any wire that poked through. Get it all cleaned up so nothing breaks off in the pan. And then I'll clean the outside up, get it nice and smooth. I had a few big gaps here. I just cut a strip of metal and tacked them in and bent them around. Same on this side, I had a pretty big one. So we're going to get this all welded up, and then we're going to get the inside welded and get it cleaned up. And then I got to move this. I might not have to, we'll see. It's going to be close. I shouldn't have to move my dipstick, but we'll see when we get it done. So we got the inside cleaned up just a little. Just touched it up. I'll probably go over it with a wire wheel again. Again, some of those hard to reach spots I couldn't get with a flap wheel. The outside, I didn't go too crazy on it. I just smoothed it out a little bit. Cleaned it up some. And I'm sure this will be back out at some point, so I'll probably go over a little better then. Get some more gas and finish welding the inside. I ran out on the MIG. So we're going to get that cleaned up. Next thing I got to do is modify this pickup tube. Now I know you can buy them, but I'm just going to take a piece of tubing, cut it, and extend this one. So we're going to measure from where it bolts up back to where the sump is. I'm going to get it in this lowest part, and then once I get it cut and extended, I'll go get some Play-Doh and put it on the this pickup and put the pump back in, and then put the oil pan back on, and just put a couple bolts in. And all it's going to tell me is my clearance between my pickup and the bottom of the pan. Want about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch. That way you can suck plenty of oil. And I might put a cover plate around the back here. That way the oil doesn't splash all out and lose oil, lose suction on the oil. So I'll probably put a cover plate in here, just big enough for this pickup to fit down through. That way you don't have any worries about losing oil pressure, especially when you step on it, all the oil goes to the back here. So keep it down in there and make sure it doesn't run out of oil. So I got the oil pan on. I had to make a new pickup tube. Just took a piece of pipe, bent it, and welded it to the pickup screen. So got that down in there. I left about 3/4 of an inch to an inch between the bottom of the pan and the pickup. So got this oil pan on. We're going to get it swung over and see where it sets. See if we got enough room in there. So after fighting with it a little bit, it's in here. That oil pan gave me just enough. It's touching down there, so I'll have to come back 1/4 inch or so. But I got probably 1/2 to 3/4 between the firewall. Got my tranny in. So the cab is lined up pretty close to the mounts, so I think I'll be okay. The mounts go in the back here, so I'm going to get my new rear mounts on so I don't have any play forward to back in them, and they'll tell me exactly where the cab's got to sit, and then get some mounts made and get this thing bolted in here. So before I put this motor back in again, I put a plate on here. Just a piece of 4-inch flat stock, 1/4 inch. Drill my holes out, got all my holes in, bolts in, except that one down there, I'm missing the bolt still. But anyways, got that on. Then I made these vertical pieces for my bolt to go through. You see the bolt sticking through there. Then I put this gusset on, and I got another one cut that I'm going to stick in here. Get it all tacked up on both sides, and then I'm going to pull the motor back out and weld it solid, and then clean it up and get them painted. So I got that made, and I got this little piece to go in here. Just give a little strength forward and back. The train will be bolted up, so it won't be able to go forward and back, but this will give my welds a little more strength. That way I don't have it crack and have these mounts break off or something. So I'm going to get those tacked in and get the motor pulled back out, get those mounts welded up solid, and get them cleaned up and painted. So I forgot to take video once I got these mounts welded up. But anyways, they're welded and painted. I didn't go too wild with grinding them. You can see, you still see my weld, but you're hardly going to see these once I get the exhaust manifolds on the truck. So we're going to let these dry and then get them bolted up to the motor. And I just took my tranny to get it rebuilt. So once that gets back, we're going to get the tranny on the motor and we're going to set it in here and start getting tranny mounts made. So that's all for this video. As you saw, we got the oil pan cut and we got it in the truck now. Got some room, so I'm not hitting anything. Just got to dent the oil pan a little bit with a ball peen hammer. It's clear now, but it's real close, so I'm just going to dent it, give me a little extra room so nothing rubs while the motor torques. So got our mounts made. Their paint's just drying on them right now. Then they're going to go back on the motor. My transmission, I just took to the shop to get it rebuilt. That's why I forgot to get videos once I was welding the mounts and got them welded. So I had dropped everything I was doing. The guy said he could take my tranny, so that went quick. So that's at the shop. When we get that back, we're going to get it on the motor. We're going to get these mounts back on the motor. Then we're going to get it set in and start getting my tranny mounts made. Once I get my tranny mounts made, I can get a flywheel and a torque converter and start getting some wiring done, get some fuel lines run, and try and get this motor running. I haven't heard it run in a long time. I know it runs, but we'll get it running and then probably get it pulled back out again and get my frame cleaned up, get it painted, and then we also got to finish getting the bed cleaned up and ready for paint. Got to get the axle cleaned up, ready. Got to pull it apart, go through the axle. It's been sitting outside for years, so get that all cleaned up. But for now, got the oil pan cut, got the motor in, and got mounts made. So that's all for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. This is Ian with All Chuck's Garage. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.